In the previous video, we were discussing about the diluent, right? Diluent they are added to increases the bulk. If the dosage which contain only a potent medicament, this the substance weighing maximum dose of less than 60 milligram, it's very difficult to handle. So to make it as a directly weighable amount, we are adding diluent. So the diluent may be an organic diluent or an inorganic diluent. Organic diluent, you can see some example like say dextrose, starch, mannitol and sorbitol. Coming to the inorganic diluent, dibasic calcium phosphate and calcium carbonate. Say these organic diluents, they are mostly carbohydrate and they exhibit the properties like compatibility, flowability, hygroscopicity, solubility and stability. So they increases the dissolution rate of poorly soluble drug like spironolactone. Spironolactone, which is poorly soluble, right? So which the dissolution, which can be easily dissolved by using these diluents like organic diluents. And coming to the inorganic diluents, they include magnesium and the calcium salts, which exhibit the properties like abrasiveness and absorbency, turbidity, lubricity and solubility. So next excipient is binding agent. Binding agent, they are incorporated to produce cohesive bonding between the granules. So just to make the granules attached together, the binding agents are added during the process of compaction of tablet. Okay. So this binding agent we are adding to improve the cohesive property, to produce the cohesive bonding between the granules. So, and also they should also allow the proper release of the drug from the tablet after it disintegrates. Example, binders, there are two types: hydrophilic binders and hydrophobic binders. Hydrophilic and hydrophobic binders. Hydrophobic binders, example, ethyl cellulose, which reduces the rate of dissolution. So if you use this binding agent, ethyl cellulose, which reduces the rate of dissolution. And coming to hydrophilic binders, they are used for enhancing the dissolution rate, increasing the dissolution rate of poorly water soluble substances like phenacetin. Moreover, the quantity of the binder we are using in this dosage form, it's very important. Okay, higher the amount of binder, that would produce the hard tablet with a very low rate of dissolution. If the tablet is very hard, that will take time to disintegrate and dissolve. Next excipient is disintegrating agent. So disintegrating agents, they are added to the tablet to disrupt the cohesive force between the granules. Binding agent, they are added to increase the cohesive force. So binding agent, they are added to increase the cohesive bonding. Okay, whereas disintegrating agent, they are added to break, that is disrupt the cohesive force between the granules. So this disintegrating agent, okay, they exerts its effect, okay, when it comes in contact with an aqueous solution. Aqueous environment, it's a GI fluid. So, and which causing the breakdown of the tablet. So disintegrating agent, they are added to disrupt the cohesive forces. So they exhibit their action when it comes in contact with a GI fluid, and which causing the breakdown of the tablet and attain the faster dissolution. Example, usually the disintegrating agent, they are hydrophilic in nature. Example, microcrystalline cellulose 5 to 15, they are used in the range between 5 to 15%. They are used along with starch for the rapid disintegration. However, the increased compression force, they inhibit the disintegration. Compression force is once the powder is converted into granules, we will just compress them into tablet, isn't it? So the force which we are used to compress the tablet, if it is increased, so that will inhibit, that will reduce prevent the disintegration. Even though we are adding a disintegrating agent, if the compression force it is high, then the disintegration is tend to reduce. So the next excipient used is lubricating agent. So this lubricating agent which reduces the friction between the granules and the die walls of the tablet press. That is the die in which we will just add the powder mass, the granules, and after that we will compress them into a tablet, right? The die walls, and between the die walls and the granules, between the granules which we are going to add it in the die and the die walls, there will be a friction when we prepare a tablet, so which is reduced by adding lubricating agent. Okay, so these lubricating agent, they are required during the tablet compression and the ejection. Next excipient used is surfactants. The surfactants are commonly used in the formulations as a solubilizer, emulsifier, wetting agent, suspending agent, and stabilizers. They reduces the rate of drug absorption or increases the rate of drug absorption. So at a low concentration, that may increases the rate of drug absorption of poorly water soluble drugs. At a high concentration, above the critical micelle point. Okay, so critical micelle point is nothing but when we are adding excessive surfactant, that will tend to form a lumps, right? Critical micelle formulation is concentration. So at a high concentration, the rate of absorption, it is reduced by forming an absorbable complex. Next is complex forming agent. It's nothing but EDTA, like that. So these form a complex with a drug, right? Formation of which forms a poorly water soluble complex, okay, but which is not deleterious which is not deleterious for the absorption of certain drugs. Okay, it doesn't do anything for the with the absorption, doesn't interrupt with the absorption of certain drugs, right? Even though they don't do anything, they help in the increasing in the absorption rate of certain drugs. These soluble drug along with an complexing agent which forms a soluble complex, which helps in increasing the rate of absorption of certain drugs. Okay, due to the formation of soluble complex by increasing the dissolution and by increased lipid solubility, which may increases the membrane permeability. So usually the lipid soluble drug, they easily get passes through the epithelial membrane. So this formation of water soluble complex which helps in the absorption rate and which increases the lipid solubility, so the penetration rate will increases, or it forms a soluble complex and that will increase as the dissolution rate. And coming to the next one, colorants. So colors we are using it in the solid dosage form. So water soluble dye, even with a low concentration, that get absorbed on the surface of the dosage form, that is surface of the crystalline drugs, certain crystalline drugs, so which delays the dissolution rate. So this is a tablet. If you are using a water soluble dye, they may get absorbed, that will retard, that will delays the dissolution rate. And for example, the sulfathiazole, okay, the dissolution is inhibited, reduced by the sulfathiazole dissolution. It is reduced by the color brilliant blue. It's a dye, it's easily get absorbed on the surface, which retard the dissolution rate. So the water soluble pigments. So this is water soluble dye. Okay, this is water soluble pigments. They are always preferred over the water soluble dye. Okay, which will prevent the permeation of moisture. Okay, so it doesn't allow the moisture to let in, and also that will avoid the color migration. So they don't interfere with the drug absorption. Okay, so the water soluble dye, they are always preferable than the soluble dyes in the water soluble pigments, they are preferred over the soluble dye, because they doesn't let the moisture to come inside, and they prevent the color migration. So they don't interfere with the rate of absorption pattern of the drug. Next is nature and type of dosage form. So nature and the type of dosage form, that depends on the absorption pattern of the drug. So depending upon the nature and the type of dosage form, the absorption pattern, they may decrease. Okay? Depending upon the nature and the type of dosage form, the absorption pattern which decrease. For example, so this is the order of absorption pattern: emulsion, suspension. Usually the emulsion get easily absorbed because it bypasses the first pass metabolism. We will discuss it now. So emulsion, suspension, capsule, this is the order of the dissolution, so that the rate of absorption depends on that. So emulsion, suspension, capsule, coated tablet, entry coated, and sustained release product. This is an order of absorption pattern of the drug which decreases from emulsion. Okay, so the emulsion, which is the rate of absorption, high rate of absorption comparatively. Fine. First one is solution. Here you can see the before emulsion, there is solution. Solution is easily get adsorbed, after which you have emulsion. So first we will discuss about solutions. The solution easily get absorbed directly. It's easily get absorbed into the systemic circulation from the GIT tract as they bypasses the rate limiting step, dissolution. It doesn't have to dissolve, right? So the solution, once we taken this, that will easily absorb from the GIT and get into the circulation. So that bypasses the dissolution, that is a rate limiting step there. Hence they provide the faster onset of action than than the solid dosage form and the other liquid dosage form. Then nature of the solvent, whether it is thick or very aqueous, the viscosity of the solution, and the surfactant, the addition of surfactant and solubilizers, which has an effect on rate of drug absorption from the solution. So the nature of the solution, whether it's viscous or aqueous, or the addition of surfactant and the solubilizer which makes the solution thick, right? So which has an effect on rate of drug absorption from the solution. So solution easily get absorbed. Depending upon the nature of the solution, the rate of absorption differs because the viscosity which has an effect on rate of absorption. Coming to the second one, under the nature and type of dosage form, we are discussing about the emulsion. So absorption of a poorly lipid soluble drug is increased by, this is poorly lipid soluble. Okay, it doesn't dissolve in a oily phase, right? Absorption of poorly lipid soluble drug, it may be increased in the form of emulsion. If we lipid soluble drug, poorly lipid soluble drug, if we administrate in the form of emulsion, so the rate of absorption increases. Okay? The administration of the drug in the form of oily solution, the rate of absorption increases because which bypasses the first pass metabolism. Okay? It doesn't, if we give the drug in the form of solution, it doesn't get into, doesn't go to the liver, right? The drug is directed to the lymphatic system, and which bypasses the liver, the first pass metabolism, and the hepatic portal vein. So hence the emulsion is considered to be a superior over the suspension. Suspension is a solid dissolving liquid. So emulsion is considered to be in a suspension. Emulsion is considered to be superior over the suspension with a high rate of absorption. And now we are discussing the dosage form, characteristics, and the pharmaceutical ingredient, that is one of the pharmaceutical factor which affect the drug absorption. The first one is disintegration time. Second is manufacturing variable. We will discuss it now. Manufacturing variable. Third one. The first one we have discussed about the disintegration. The second one, it's a pharmaceutical ingredient. And the pharmaceutical ingredient we have discussed. We have discussed about vehicle, binding agent, disintegrating agent, lubricating agent, surfactant, complexing agent, colorants. Okay. The next one is nature and type of dosage form, under which we are discussing about the nature of the dosage form, whether it's a solution, if it's a solution, then it's easily absorbed, and if it is an emulsion, it can, it's bypasses first pass metabolism. So the emulsion, it's considered to be in a superior over other suspensions, okay, with a high rate of absorption. So depending on the nature and the type of dosage form, the absorption pattern of the drug decreases. The first one is a solution. Solution get absorbed directly into the systemic circulation. The emulsion which bypasses the first pass metabolism. Any soluble absorption of poorly lipid soluble drug, any poorly soluble drug can be given in the form of an emulsion, so the absorption rate can be easily, it is improved. Coming to the third one, it's suspension. Suspension is nothing but the solid particle dissolve in a vehicle. So the suspended solid particle which provide a larger surface area. So suspended particle which provided a larger surface area, which increases the rate of absorption. So the RLS, that is rate limiting step, is a dissolution. Dissolution is a rate limiting step. That particle, suspended particle, that has to dissolve. Okay, that is the slow process. So that is rate limiting step. Rate limiting step, it's nothing but the overall rate of reaction, it is determined by the particular step. So the factors which affects the absorption of the drug pattern from the suspension are: one is nature of suspending agent, viscosity and particle size. Next is about capsule. The rate of absorption differs from soft gelatin capsule. We know the capsule and the solid capsule and the tablet, both are solid dosage form. The rate of absorption differs for soft gelatin and hard gelatin capsule. Hard gelatin, which is filled with the solid powders, hard gelatin capsule, they are usually filled with solid powders, pellets. So factors like density, particle size, nature of the experience, intensity of packaging, polymorphism, these are all the factors which influences the drug dissolution. And drug absorption from the hard gelatin capsule. So the factors influencing, these are all the factors influencing which influences the dissolution rate and the drug absorption from the hard gelatin capsule. Fine. On the other hand,